Hello and welcome to a delayed, cancelled and rescheduled GLG podcast. My name is Jason Lovell.
And I am Gino Cosentino.
And we are without our third amigo, Shaun Davis, today due to other commitments. He is unavailable.
He's abandoned us.
Yes, we are in mourning. He's not dead, he's just not available, but he will be back. So it is just I and Gino rocking the show today. And it's been a little while because we've been busy. It's been summer, and we've come back for some gaming, movie, nerdy goodness for your ear holes. Gino, how are you feeling?
Yeah, well, it's so disappointing Shaun's not here. We've got a big void to fill. No laughing. Okay.
How are we going to know how things have done in the reviews? Because Shaun's always the guy
that says they go well.
He lets us know.
It's got good reviews.
He lets us know how well they did in the review. So,
and if I don't know a director of a show, I go, who directed that show? You know the guy with the black hair, the big chin? Oh yeah, I know the guy, Rodrigo
Chihuahua.
And we're like, yeah, okay, awesome. But yeah, we'll miss him, but we'll try and do our thing today. We've written notes, we've been professional, as you've probably seen our update on Twitter. So let's see how it goes.
I'm going to put this out on the YouTube though as well. So if you are listening to this on YouTube, we will at some point, I think, go back to doing actual vlogcasts. So you will see us talking. But for now, because I don't have the time to edit because I've started a new job, I'm just going to upload it to YouTube as a audio only podcast, the same as it is everywhere else. But this should find you on YouTube.
Oh man, I want my head superimposed on Arnold Schwarzenegger's body.
Maybe we'll just put. Cool. We can do that. We can put a photo on there, something like that.
It is me.
I'll sort something out. So, first of all, we're going to talk about things that are in the news. Now, not all the news. And I want to be serious one second, because if you are someone that listens to this regularly and you do like this show, there is one big piece of news which myself and Gino haven't even talked about. And I don't want to talk about it to a great deal because we want to talk about fun stuff, or even the negative stuff is normally just us riffing on things and taking a piss and getting angry.
Personal opinions.
But obviously, Gino, you're probably aware there was a mass shooting in a Madden EA contest. Obviously, it is horrendous. Our thoughts always go out to people's families when this sort of stuff happens. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of dicks out there that just might not be happy with their own life, but are not content with just taking their own life. They want to hurt other people in the meantime. So just want to mention that we are aware of it. Obviously, everyone's aware of it, but we're not going to really talk about it because we want to talk about fun stuff. So
we all have games, and games are important, but it's not a matter of life and death out there, kids. And you have to think the bigger picture, and there's a lot more behind it than playing the game. So obviously, thoughts and prayers, as they always say, but we'll move on, and hopefully something like that will not happen again. But you never know in America and the gun laws. It
doesn't help, does it?
But we're going to move along because we don't want Donald Trump coming down on us like a ton of bricks.
Building a wall.
Fake news!
So, let's talk about real news. And when we talk about news, we just pick a certain headline that we talk. So we're not going to cover every single bit of news. We're just going to talk about something that we decide to talk about. So, as Shaun's not here to tell me off for doing a crap impression of the news music, I'm going to do it anyway. So here's now time for the news.
News.
New news. So, in the news, the first thing I'm going to talk about, so we're going to take a bit of gaming news and a bit of movie/television news each. First thing I'm going to bring up is, Gino, have you heard about this new Xbox subscription service that they are offering in the United States of America?
No, I've heard about Bird being the word, but I've not heard about the Xbox. I've heard about the Nintendo one, which we'll go into later, but I've not heard about the Xbox one. So
okay, so the Xbox one that's been offered up is Microsoft are going to be offering a new service. I've actually forgotten what the service is called, which is really bad. Reporting.
Is it linked with my gold membership then, or is it
kind of
separate?
Okay? Kind of.
I'm already paying. Well, I'm not paying out because I lost my wallet, as everyone probably knows from seeing on the thing when I went to see Ant-Man and Wasp. So my cards have all been cancelled. So my Xbox Gold is gone now for the meantime. But £40 a year for that, I'm happy with. But if I'm paying out some more, I want to.
Well, it depends. It is more, but let me tell you what you get for this service. So at the moment, obviously there are no UK prices. There are two services or two tiers of the service that they're going to be offering. The first one is $22 a month, and the second one is $35 a month. But what you get for that is you sign up for a 2-year term, okay? But it is very similar to a mobile phone contract.
Okay.
So what you're paying for is not included in that price is Xbox Live, Xbox Game Pass, which you may have heard of.
Yeah.
Yep. So Xbox Game Pass, and the cost of the Xbox console itself. So what you're essentially doing is, in a way, that they're offering you credit for the console, the same as the mobile phone company does. Because obviously, when you pay for your mobile phone contract, you're paying for your minutes, your text messages, and gone on French for a second. And you pay for the handset, the cost of the handset.
So what you're saying is, in theory, I could go into a shop and go, I want a new Xbox.
Yes.
And then they go, right, how do you want to pay for it? And I go, well, I've got 20 quid. And they go, well, you can, Alexa, can you start on this?
Alexa's chirping.
So Alexa just doesn't want us to talk about Xbox. But no, so I can go in and obviously get in a contract form and say, right,
exactly.
I may have to pay a down payment. I'm guessing save like $50 or something.
I don't know that, to be honest. I'm not sure if that is the case or not. But yeah, so essentially for $22 a month, you get the Xbox One S. And for $35 a month, you get the Xbox One X, so you get the more premium.
I guess
console.
so. Yeah. So then again, they're making it more available to the masses. Then I'm guessing.
Exactly. A lot of people are speculating that it might be some sort of response to the fact the Xbox One X hasn't sold as well as they hoped, so they're trying to shift this console out in a different way.
Yeah, they used to give them away free though. Do you remember when you used to get a mobile phone? They go, get this mobile phone and we'll give you a free Xbox or a free iPad or tablet.
That's true. That seems to have died now, doesn't it? You don't seem to get. You still get free stuff, I think, but. I mean, I got like a Samsung Gear VR with my phone.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as well, I think we're moving towards streaming now soon. I think it's going to be, we're not even going to, the physical game buying anymore is going to disappear, and everything's going to be streamed, and you'll pay like a Netflix thing. I
totally agree with you, and I actually, funny you should say that, because I actually think that's another reason they're doing this. I think this is testing the water for just purely for subscription based. And I think you're right. At some point, when the infrastructure becomes adequate enough, I think what you will get is essentially more like a Roku box, like a now TV box, where it isn't actually handling the graphical fidelity or the processing. That's being done in the cloud, and you'll literally just have a receiver box, which you an Xbox, which is just a receiver, and you play the games that way and pay a subscription to play the games. I agree. I think this is testing because Game Pass is kind of that. But it's not streaming; it's access to a library of games, isn't it?
Well, the thing is as well that might help with the crossover thing because they've already started experimenting with crossing over games, haven't they? I think it was the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch.
Correct,
they're swapping over. You can.
That's right.
Oh, Minecraft as well. I don't know why, but I'm guessing they must be testing it because Minecraft hasn't got very good graphics, and Fortnite's kind of kiddie, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I don't see why they have to compete. I think it would be cheaper for everyone if we were all on together, and then you could play. Someone from PlayStation plays with Xbox because everyone's always loyal to a console anyway. And I know you shouldn't be. Like you said, we're old enough now to afford. Well, some of us to afford 2 consoles.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go, well, back in the day, I'm PlayStation, I'm Xbox, and that's it. I don't think you've got that anymore, have you?
It's funny something you touched on there, which actually did cross my mind when I read about this new subscription service. One of the things that not puts me off it, because it sounds like a stupid thing to be put off by, but one of the effects I think it might have on me is if I signed up for this service, for example, at the moment, like you've said, I've got a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox, and a PlayStation. I tend to, I don't get them all when they're all released, but over the course of this generation of consoles, I do tend to buy all of them at some point. I did the same with the last gen, and I'm doing it with this gen. I don't know whether I would be inclined to buy a PlayStation or whatever if I was already paying for one. Do you know what I mean? I don't really want, because at the moment I buy it outright, or I get it for my birthday or for my wife or something like that. Whereas, I suppose that could still happen. I could still get it as a present, but it kind of makes me think, well, if you're currently still paying for something, I don't want to go and buy another one. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm
guessing how it'll work was the same with phones. So it'll get to the release of consoles will be every 2 years. I'm guessing now. So they'll be 2 years.
Yeah, I think
And then
so.
what they'll do is they'll say, when it's coming up to the next 6 months, they'll go, do you want to reserve your new thing?
Yeah.
But then you're gonna want to negotiate terms of your contract, like everyone does with mobile phones.
Yeah.
Because thing is with me, I've got an Xbox and it sits there. I do play when a game comes out. I want to play it. I play it.
Yeah.
But the problem we're gonna have now is if I'm paying 20 quid a month for something,
Yeah.
it's gonna make me want to. I'm not gonna go. No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's always that overhead, isn't it, all the time?
Yeah, and the good thing about this, what it would offer you compared to your current situation, is that you'll get access to the Game Pass, so you'll be able to play games that you wouldn't normally have. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, okay. At the moment, I've got Game Pass. I ordered it this month purely because it was on offer. It was like a cheap deal for like 3 months, so I gave it a go, and I'm sort of looking at the library. It doesn't make me go, oh yeah, this is amazing. You know, there are games on there that I go, oh yeah, they're games that sort of passed you by. You know, where you went, oh well, it's not really top of my list, but actually, if it's available on Game Pass, I'll probably give it a go.
Play it, yeah.
But the selling point for Game Pass, which also is a selling point then of this subscription service, is that Xbox have committed to every single Xbox exclusive game that comes out from now on will be available on Game Pass. So the next Gears of War 6 will be available. So if you've got this service, you'll get Gears of War 6.
I suppose I have all the other Gears.
I do
like it.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then Halos and any new version, because they've obviously at E3 they announced that they'd bought those 6, I think it was, game studios, and they're really, because obviously the one thing PlayStation's kicking ass with is their exclusives are better than.
There's a few exclusives on Xbox. There's another big game that's an exclusive on there. I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. But it's just that kind of, for me, a casual gamer doesn't even describe me at the moment, because at the time, what I usually do is find one game that I like and I play it, and then I complete it, and then unless something else spikes my fancy, I'm like. Bleh.
Do you know what the weird thing is, though? This is something else I'm going to segue a little bit now, but this is something that I was thinking about the other day, is that what you've just described is actually how we used to consume games when we were younger, in the sense that we couldn't afford games.
Buy a game every week.
Yeah, so you'd get a game, probably like 2 or 3 a year, that you would play to death. And now, because we live in an age where games aren't cheaper, but we obviously earn more money now, so we have more choice over what we buy because we're adults. But also, there are so many good games now compared. Like when we were younger, you'd only get probably 2 or 3 premium games per year.
Yeah.
Whereas now, literally, like we talked about Far Cry 5. I haven't had time to play it, and looking at the games I'm going to be buying over the next couple of months, I probably am not going to get time to play it.
Yeah.
And I think that. So now you kind of feel like you know, not the way you're playing at the moment, because you just said you're not doing it this way. But for me, I'm constantly trying to get through games because I want to play the next one. Whereas the way you're playing it is almost it's better value for money because you're playing a game and getting the most out of it. But also, I wonder whether sometimes the experience of playing games is I ruin it for myself because I'm so desperate to complete games. That I don't get it. Like Shaun probably has a point where he tells me off for not playing games to its full, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that. It was, Far Cry 5 though, I completed it, and then in my head I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go back and do all the stuff, and I don't. I started walking around for a bit after I completed it, and I can't fuck with this.
Well, you're a bit more like me, where it's like once the credit roll, you're kind of like, I'm done.
But I don't want to spoil it. But the problem is as well with we discussed it before. The games are so massive now. So massive, and I know a lot of them are online, but they reckon Cyberpunk is going to be a massive game. I've heard that Spider-Man's going to have over 40 hours.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
Hours. And I remember the olden days when I had Skyrim and Oblivion, and I was playing them to death, and I played hours. Mass Effect, another one I wasted part of my life on. But now I don't know.
Do you know what I think?
Every game's like it now.
Well, I think the problem is not just the fact that they're so long, which is what you've just said, but that is part of it. But add that to the fact that we've got less time to play. Like when we were young, you'd be like, "Oh, it's raining this weekend. I'm just going to sit in and play Mass Effect all weekend." And you'd complete it within a week, wouldn't you? Whereas now, you get like 2 hours a week to play. Do you know what I mean? On a 40-hour game, that's like that's 6 months, almost.
And the thing is, as well, my Xbox is in the main living room, and I can't exactly say to my missus, "Sorry, love, you go upstairs. I'm going to play in this game." True. Usually, I completed Far Cry by finishing work a little bit earlier and playing like an hour and getting up earlier on the Saturday to play it. Yeah. And that's how I completed through it. But I can understand, but I think there's so many games come out, and then like you say, you lose a lot with FIFA, for example. I've heard nothing about FIFA, the new one.
I've heard it. I've heard a couple of things, but I've
not heard like major. There's usually major like FIFA do this. I know that there's you can choose people to do career modes and all that, but the subscription.
It's mainly all that weird stuff to do with like tailoring the game, isn't it? Where you can put like sort of weird stipulations in, to games and stuff.
But it's like I would be more interested in the subscription for Switch. If I'm fat, if for Nintendo, because I know because there's a lot of games on Nintendo that I wouldn't want to buy. Do you know you have the indie games? A lot of people have been telling me to play this Octopath game. Yeah, and I've looked at it and gone, I don't really like the look of it. Like I know it's a bit snooty, but I like the clean graphic game and that, and I'm thinking, I want to play this. But when I looked at it, I went, I don't know. But if I had the chance to play it for free, and I was only paying 10, I think the Nintendo one's only going to be 10 a month. I think.
But you know what? This is the thing. This is one of the problems I think with modern gaming is what happened to game demos. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what you're talking about. Yeah, if you could play Octopath Traveler for like 20 minutes, half hour, and then you'd go, do you know what? I like this. I'll buy it. Whereas now, or you go, well, actually, it's not for me. They don't seem to offer demos as much anymore.
No, well, the thing is, I guess because there's so many YouTube and all the rest of it, you can look at it. Yeah, true. But again, that Monster Hunter game that I was telling you about, I wanted to play, but I didn't. I haven't got it because I thought I might not like it. I'm going to spend 40 quid on it. Yeah, it's just that. Is that thing?
I'm totally with you there.
But with Nintendo, it's different because I can understand if I had a chance to play a game on Nintendo, I would be like, and it's only 10 a month. I'd be like, actually, I'll give this game a try. But I will be going into a game that I tried later on, and I wasn't too happy with it. But hey, we'll get to that later on.
So as we're talking about Nintendo, obviously, you obviously one of your things you wrote down was the Nintendo subscription service that they're putting together. Because obviously at the moment, playing online on Nintendo is free, but has the paid subscription kicked in the UK yet?
No, it's only America, I think, so far. But from what they've said, it's got classic package on it with like Donkey Kong and the original Donkey Kong, not the one you played with on the
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, not Donkey Kong Country, but like the original Donkey Kong with the barrels.
That's pretty shit because I'm probably
the original Mario as well.
I'm going to upset a lot of Nintendo fans out there now probably, but like the first Donkey Kong was not a good game. No, I mean it was probably great at the time. Don't get me wrong, but there are certain games that age well and almost defy time and you know like Super Mario, like you said, for the NES, Super Mario Bros. It's an amazing game. I can play that constantly and I love that game. In fact, like, it's probably my favourite one. A lot of people obviously love 3 and Super Mario World.
Well, Super Mario World is one of my favourites.
But I love the original Super Mario.
I like Mario as well. So one of the another underrated game that I think they've kind of left that character to die now. Yeah, I think they should. It's a perfect time for an anti-hero game. Mario was up there, wasn't he? No. But it's always Bowser and Mario and Princess. But some of these games will never die. But Nintendo subscription, I would be interested in. But then again, like the thing I've got with the Switch is, I'm never compelled to pick it up and play it. That's my problem. Like, when I start playing it, I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this. But then when I put it down and you know, like the other night, the cat was sick on it.
Oh no!
In the middle of the night, I had it on my bedside stand, and I was like, and I heard the cat on the bed go, what? And I was like, get off the bed, and it jumped off the bed, and then it was like sick, and I got up and it had been sick on the front, so I picked it up and gave it to my missus. Went, can you go clean that? When I cleaned it, that's how
clean the cat or clean the Switch.
Clean the Switch. The cat gone now, but
I hope she didn't spray it with anything.
I think it's been alright. Well, I don't ever lick it, so it should be fine.
Oh no!
But so it's
cat's sick.
That's the thing.
Cat's up.
Yeah,
cat's sick.
Cat's sick. But it was proper.
Oh no!
But
the cat doesn't like Nintendo. Then.
Yeah, the cat doesn't. The cat doesn't like Nintendo. No, he's against it entirely. But
the thing is, right? I tell you what I will say though is maybe you're already aware of this, so I might be like insulting your intelligence here. But for me, where the Nintendo has really shown its worth is like when I'm sat with the wife and she's watching some television that I don't appreciate. Instead of like forcing myself to watch it, I whip the Nintendo Switch out. You know, the same sort of time you'd whip a book out and you go, do you know what, sod it, I read a book. I don't really want to watch this, but you still want to sit with your wife and be in the same room. that's when I whip out the Nintendo Switch and have a go on that. And yeah, it does mean that I'm sort of getting through the games on there really slowly. Like this year, I completed Super Mario Odyssey, and then I've started Thimbleweed Park, which I'm still playing. So I'm not really firing through games, but also I think with the Nintendo Switch, it's a good console to play those sort of quick games on, like Mario Kart, which is there's no completion on it. It's just I fancy 5 minutes, and obviously they're bringing out the new Super Smash Brothers as well, which is that same sort of thing.
The thing is, I've done it. I've put it on the stand and tried to use the handles. It didn't work properly. So I tried to
play Super Mario Odyssey with it, and it's like Noah loved it. He was like, swinging it round and all that. I was like, nah, sod that. Put it back on the side.
Yeah, I know. Shaun will probably kill us, and you're not using it to its potential. I have docked it once. And I tried playing Stardew Valley on it, and I was like, "This is shit." I literally
only dock it for 2 reasons. One, I want to play multiplayer, so I play that is a third reason. Well, no, actually, no, the second reason was it does touch on that. Was when I want to play it, but it's run out of batteries, so I can put it on the screen because it's charging while I'm playing it.
So I think Mario Kart might be quite good on it if it was.
It is good,
but. Like I think Stardew Valley is the wrong thing. It really I'm trying to get hold of I'm going to go into it later because I'm trying to hold back this triad I've got. But yeah, it's we'll move on to that later.
Okay, let's move on to some more news. Unless you've got anything more to say.
No, I'm holding in my rage for this Stardew Valley. So
we've got some sort of movie news now. Now I'm going to bring mine up first. Movie news. So this is like a double barrel thing, really. It's actually 2 pieces of news, but I've merged it into one because they're both Marvel related. Okay, so the first one was we were obviously talking on previous podcasts, recent ones, about Venom, which is a movie that we've both got our eyes on. You've always been a big fan of the sort of Spider-Man verse, Spideyverse or whatever, and I obviously, love the Marvel movies, and I know this is technically not the same. It's not the MCU. Actually, I've just kind of cocked up there because that's part of the news. Now, the news is that they apparently, and we were trying to see if this was confirmed earlier, but we're not 100% sure. But it's looking likely that the age rating for the Venom movie is actually not going to be R-rated as originally thought, but actually going to be like PG-13. Although they've described it as pushing PG-13 to its limits. So it's going to be they're going to say like, God damn, or something like that. Just to push it to its limit. Or they might say shit or something like that.
But the thing is, shit. It's not that Venom needs to be PG-13 because you can make Venom PG-13.
Yeah.
It's the characters that surround the character, if you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You've got Carnage, who is a serial killer.
Yeah.
And then takes on the symbiote role, and you think, well, if that's the case, then why make it a PG-13? Why not just take the initiative and go, right, we'll be brave? And the thing is, why can't a character that's in an R-rated movie go into a PG-13 movie like the Marvel universe? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you could put Deadpool into the Marvel universe if you wanted to. But you just have to make his jokes could be a bit more like innuendo.
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't be as good, but you can work round it, can't you?
Yeah.
And with Venom...
do you know what? I actually think you could work it well with Deadpool, because what you could actually do is beep him out, and then he could address that when he breaks forward. Say, what the beep is this? Beep beep. You could make it work as part of the joke, couldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like when you watch, we watch Deadpool 2, but when he's in the X-Men house and they see, and you see all the X-Men in the room, don't you?
Yeah.
And then they kind of they shut the door quietly so they don't have to speak to him. But it's. I feel I love Marvel movies. I really, really do, and I just think there's a risk of them being saturated and changed to the point like I've started got over the fact that Spider-Man's not in Venom because it's
wow.
But I've heard there has been rumours that the Andrew Garfield one might come.
No. Further than that, the rumours are that the reason that this age rating is actually taking place is because they want this Venom movie to now be part of the MCU. So they want Tom Holland in it, not Andrew Garfield. They want Tom Holland. I know there was rumours about Andrew Garfield, but that's I think been sort of shot down now. But the rumours is actually They weren't. They were originally going to keep it as his own thing, but actually now they're thinking, no, actually we want this to be part of the
because they're entwined.
MCU.
They're entwined characters.
Yeah,
they are yin and yang in a way.
yeah.
And the thing is, it's this, and you've got to have. You can have Spider-Man without Venom, yeah. But you can't have Venom without Spider-Man because all his powers and everything, his costume is all derived from him. And I was having a discussion with a guy on Twitter not long ago on the Geeks Twitter thing. Get in there, talk to me. I'm usually on it most of the day, but he made a good point. Marvel had a perfect opportunity, or Sony had a perfect opportunity. He went into space in Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
He went into space, and I didn't even look at. But
Spider-Man
went into space, so there was that chance there where he could have got that, and then what you could have done then is had the introduction of the black suit.
Yep.
In the second thing.
Yeah.
In the second movie, so then you would have introduced that, and it would have been perfect. But instead, we'll make a separate movie and we'll give it to Brock straight away.
Yeah.
But you need Brock's hatred for Spider-Man is the other thing that makes him hate Spider-Man.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's how they bind it so well. But I could go on. This is me being nerdy, and I know this is a nerdy podcast, but
that's what they want, Gino.
I know that's what they
want. That's why we got you
involved. But it's a passionate cry because I think a lot of we said it for years. Like an R-rated, people have grown up with Marvel. There are kids being introduced to it. And it's brilliant. Like Jason's kids getting introduced to stuff like Wonder Woman and all that lot. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's new and exciting. But you can't forget, there's us that have grown up with it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not a big fan of the Harry Potter movies.
No.
But they did that well. The Harry Potter movies, because
when
when it started off, it was really kiddie and a bit crappy. I'm not allowed to say that word that I always say because it gets blooped out. But it's a bit crappy and like kiddie. And then as it moved on, it got more adult.
Yeah.
And
darker,
and darker, didn't it? And then the last one was darker. And that was good. So why didn't they do that with Terminator as well? They tried to introduce Terminator to a younger group and put it as a PG-13, but Terminator's 18.
Yeah.
And when you watched it when you were 10 and you were behind your mum and dad's back watching it, this is brilliant. You want to see more of that. You want to see him taking eyes out and arms being ripped off and being shot, and hopefully the new movie's going to have that in. But yeah,
it's because kids sell, isn't it? I mean, it's the same principle. I don't want to turn this into a
yeah.
WWE thing, but it's the same in wrestling. That's why everybody hates John Cena. Everyone hates Roman Reigns. They hate these clean cut, but they sell to kids, and that's why, unfortunately, that's what the companies want to put their money behind, is because they want to make money. And unfortunately, the reality is, when it comes to making money in whatever sort of creative discipline it is, whether it be movie making, TV shows, music, everything, the ones that make money are not the best. They never are. You look at like One Direction, one of the best, the best selling bands of all time, but they're not the best musically. Do you know what I mean? They're not. They just make money, and that's the thing. If you ever, same as like books, 50 Shades of Grey. Like most intelligent people that I know that have read that book have said it's trash and it's an awful book, but it's sold because
the hype behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's the same as these sort of shows, is they market it for the masses, not for the purists, and that's the reality.
Well, yeah, but that's the same thing, because like we were saying here, there's been rumours of the new Blade. Well, not even a reboot, is it? Because if they use
that's my next piece of news.
I'm leading into it for you. See,
how dare you?
God, you've opening the curtain again.
Sorry, I didn't realise you were.
So I turned the light on so I
can
see it. But
I'll scrub out that bit that says I hate Gino. I don't hate Gino.
You want to scribble out that penis as well. It's not to scale. But the new Blade. I can understand Wesley Snipes wanting to get back in on it.
He's desperate to get back in it, though.
Yeah.
He is like, I reckon he must be at the stage where, he had one phone call with Marvel. They were just like, look, how do you think we could handle bringing Blade into the MCU? Let's ring Wesley Snipes out. He's experienced. He knows about the character. Let's get his advice. Wesley Snipes took that as, there's a new Blade movie coming out and we want you to be Blade. And I think on a daily basis, Blade is probably sending them screenshots of his the promotional video photos.
Owen Hargreaves did this.
Sending him like a tape of himself training for Blade, and look, it's me, I'm ready, swinging like a katana around in his front room, sort of thing. I still got it. I still got it.
Putting up pictures of Twilight and cutting heads off for Edward. Take that, Edward. I am the new Blade.
I'm not convinced that Wesley Snipes is gonna get the gig. I mean, he may get a cameo, or they might give him another role in it. But he looks fine for his age. So I don't really want to say that he's too old.
Because the actor's already black. what they'll do now is they'll go, right, we need to make it a gay female, because that's what they're doing with everything now.
What, make Blade a gay female?
A gay black female. That's what they'll do, because that's what they've been doing with everything, and it's really crazy. And they'll probably try and change it in some way. And I don't think it will work.
I don't think they'll change it into a gay...
I tell you what...
Did you say gay female?
Yeah, I reckon they will. Or they'll change it into Melissa McCartney will do it. And she'll be Blade, because they're going, oh, we need to change it. Like Blade
the teenage
witch. Like when they whitewash blimmin' what's-her-face from Doctor Strange.
Who?
Yeah, with Swinton, whatever her name is.
Yeah, but that's the opposite. You're talking there. That is whitewashing, whereas what you're talking about is take, like, I know what you mean, and it's very, very difficult subject to talk about, and you can be accused of things if you get taken in the wrong context. And I've said this a million times, and I will say it on record. We're not racist, we're not sexist,
no.
we're not homophobic. What we're trying to say is that if you want a good, strong, leading black character or female character or gay character, whatever, then write one. Don't just do the lazy thing and go, well, we'll take a classic character and we'll flip it into something else, because it just seems pointless. It's like, why not write something new? Why not flesh it out and create a actual strong female character rather than just turn 4 into a woman like they did in the comics? It's like, well, what's the point?
Got so many strong female characters. Well, I know it's really strange, but like She-Hulk, for example, I know it's going to be. It would be a really weird movie if they made it.
Captain Marvel, isn't it?
Or Captain Marvel.
They're doing it already.
Yeah, and also and Batwoman, Catwoman as well. But I know Catwoman was ruined by Halle Berry in that movie, but Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer was. She was brilliant.
Very good.
And look at Sigourney Weaver and Alien. Like,
yeah,
she totally broke the mold. But what they do now is just like Ghostbusters was that prime example.
They just flip it, don't they?
And the thing is that
it's lazy.
I can understand that they're doing the Batwoman, aren't they? And they're making. Well, they're not making. She was in the book. She was a lesbian, isn't she? In the books, and they've cast that. They cast a lesbian actress to do it, and then she got pouters on Twitter about it.
Why?
She had to leave Twitter because she got pelters about it because they didn't think she was a proper lesbian or something. It was some weird thing, and it was like, well, how was that fair? The thing is, they've gone the right way about it, and they've made and then the fans still ain't happy.
Yeah.
And I know, like you say, it's a touchy subject, but like you say, I've got nothing against. Like some of the characters I grew up with were strongly like Terminator, Sarah Connor. She was badass, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was badass, but they didn't go, all right, we're just going to change but then they did actually, because they changed Terminator 3 into a female.
Exactly. But this is the thing, right? I'm not a female. I'm not. I mean, I am a feminist in the sense that I've got a daughter. I've got a wife who's very independent. I do agree with like feminism.
And equal pay is another thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Equal pay.
That's
a big thing.
But I'm not going to pretend that I'm I'm stood outside with Donald Trump's White House waving banners, trying to sort of say like equality for women. But the reality is that I think the problem is when you take a character that was written as a man and you flip it and just literally cast it as a woman to play the role, you're losing what makes up a strong female. Do you know what I mean? Because what makes a strong female is not the same that makes a strong male. We are two different genders, and so what I'm saying is by casting a female with big muscles and beating the shit out of blokes, it's like, well, that doesn't ring true. That's not what makes a strong woman. I can't tell you what makes a strong woman, but what when you look at we all looked at our mums growing up and stuff like that. That's what a strong female was. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying they have to be pathetic and in the kitchen. What I'm saying is what makes a strong female and what makes a strong male are two different things. It's like Black Panther, for example, was so successful because the character was I can't think of a better term, but it encapsulated what the black community was and Africa, and it took away. It didn't just have a black character or a black actor acting like someone who was born and raised in suburbia.
That's what I liked about it, because I was really worried about watching it, because I thought, it's going to be like rap music everywhere, and it's going to be like all this slang and like. But then when I watched it, I thought, actually, this is quite refreshing. They're embracing the culture, and then Black Panther was, he was a good leading character, and it wasn't all about this is because of the colour of my skin. It was because I'm Black Panther, because I'm skilled at what I do and everything. It was brilliantly written. I actually really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and I think in the Marvel, not in just the Marvel, but in the whole movie genre, people just need to sit down and think, we can put a leading female character in, like the Black Widow as well. She
needs her own movie.
She needs her own movie. Because the thing is, I like when she's like her and Renner have got a good chemistry, and I think they could work in.
But she's been written in the right way from the start, from the day that she was put into. I know she kind of had that.
You found a little bit of a backstory about her, didn't you? Yeah,
and I know when she first met Tony Stark in what was it, Iron Man 2 or whatever, she had that kind of seductive nature. So she was, yes, there was kind of that throwback to a female using, but then that touches on that. That's what she's supposed to be, isn't it? It's the Red Sparrow, isn't it? It's that, using that as a weapon. But she's strong. She's independent. She kicks ass.
She doesn't wear any armour. Like
you've got a character there, and she does it with no powers either. Do you know what I mean? So in some ways, she's more badass than the rest of them. But
well, a little bit off piece there, but it's something that
preaching
us on Gurtlush Gaming and Gurtlush Geeks have to say that we believe strongly in. Not just equality, but actually roles that are written for
it should be like, it's going to get really preachy and like whatever, but it should be a celebration of what it means to be that, whatever it is, whether it be a female or a person of colour, or whether it be someone who's gay, bisexual, lesbian, transsexual, whatever it is. It should be a celebration. It shouldn't just be, we need to do this to balance things up. So we're just cast a transsexual as this role, but the role was written for a straight white man. It doesn't, just write it for a transsexual.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, now I've read about a petition on Facebook or something about making Wonder Woman gay or bisexual, and it's like, but the thing is, the whole Wonder Woman is chronicled in the books that she has relationships with Superman, she has relationships with Batman, and they even touched a little bit on it in the Justice League, that she was a little bit flirty and all that, but the thing is, it doesn't make her any less of a strong person. It doesn't make her stronger if she's gay, straight, bisexual. She's still Wonder Woman.
Well, I think, do you know what I think that is? I think that's a misunderstanding of what makes a strong female. And I think the reason why we tend to get these strong female characters that end up being lesbian is it's trying to show that we don't need men at all. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, just because you are attracted to men and you want a man in your life doesn't make you a weak woman. Do you know what I mean? Same as we as men want women in our life doesn't make us weak men. It's just that it helps us be strong to have that person in your life. What they always say, don't they? Behind every good man is a good woman. You need that support, that sort of that person to lean on. And I think that's another important message, is that there's nothing wrong with having somebody to lean on, somebody to you need that support. And in some ways it makes you a stronger person to admit that you need that support than just trying to bottle it up inside, and then you end up becoming the bad guy in the movie.
The bad person
or bad female.
And I think it is that thing, and it's about having balance, isn't it? It's about having balance and going that and actually investing time into doing something, not just using a quick fix. Because there's no quick fixes in movies and all games or whatever. If you want to make your leading character, transsexual, pansexual, gay, straight, if you want to, pansexual with what they wanted to do with Lando Calrissian, whatever you want to do. But if you want to do it, just write it for that part. Don't just be lazy and just
don't just revise things because we need to stick it in there somewhere.
And to be honest, in this day and age, and it doesn't bother me. And I don't think it bothers anyone in my era, at my age that was born, will be bothered by the fact if anyone's gay, straight, lesbian, transsexual, whatever. It doesn't matter now. But I think movies and TV programs are making a deal of it, and you don't need to. And it's not right. But we live in this day and age where hopefully we can make a difference ourselves. So that's really.
I think at the end of the day, it just comes to representation. I think the reason why people make a big deal about it is because we, as straight white men, will never know how these people feel because we are the most represented type of person on a movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, everybody. I mean, Stallone's part Italian like yourself.
Boom.
So you can argue that's different to me, which is I don't even know what my history is. Who knows? Irish or something, I think, but. The reality is that so we don't feel that like bitterness, that anger, because we I think the reason why they make a big deal of that is because they want their children to be able to see other people like them on the movie screen, and that is good for them. So I understand it, but I think, like I said, we got no problem with it. Just do it properly.
Right. Do it right.
Do you know what I mean?
Do it right.
Don't do it lazy and go, oh, we're just going to flip this round and make Superman black now. It's like, why? Why not make a black character? Make a decent black character and write a new one, because all the old black characters, yes, okay, they've managed to make Black Panther into a modern character, but a lot of them are, written from the 70s, which probably isn't a best representation.
No, it's not. No, exactly. Yeah.
But just either do what they did with Black Panther. Well, the good thing about Black Panther, like I said before, I touched on it before, the production was handed over to a person of colour themselves, who was able to do it in the right way, write the movie.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler was able to write the movie, direct it, and bring over that what it makes, what that celebration of black culture and African culture. So yeah, and then we're digressing a lot here, but I think it's just about getting the right people involved. It doesn't,
Not afraid to touch on these touchy subjects.
Yeah, we got a bit deep there. We got a bit deep,
but we've got to do it because it's a big part of what's going on at the moment.
We're balls deep in it.
Yeah, and it's right. And plus, we haven't got a lot of news to talk about. So
well, we got one more piece of news. I'm going to mention it because you stole my blade thing, but they're bringing out
the Mrs. Doubtfire musical. Yeah, I was going to talk about that too.
I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. When I sing, I can get higher.
Hello.
I am woman, hear me roar. So no, they're bringing out a new Big Trouble in Little China movie.
Yeah, I've heard it's not going to be a remake. It's going to be a sequel.
Is Kurt Russell going to be in it?
I don't know. I know that Dwayne The Rock will take up any movie script jobs that's going to be in it, and it'll probably be massive in China because he's in it.
I love.
Oh, that's a good pun, though, isn't it? Big Trouble in Little China, or will be big in China. But
I love Big Trouble in Little China. It's not one of my favourite movies. I was going to say it was, but that's probably a lie. But it is a movie I'm very fond of.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't hold high hopes for Jumanji. When they were going to make Jumanji, sequel, I was like, this new Jumanji the Jungle's going to be crap. And then I watched it in the cinema with my girlfriend, and she was like, I really enjoyed it.
It was really good.
Enjoyed it.
Really good.
I watched it again a couple of days ago and on Now TV, and I said, actually, it's still quite funny. Jack Black in it, was good, and it was different, but still kept a little bit of the ethos of the old one, which I enjoyed. And I think if they can do that with Big Trouble in Little China, and obviously Rock's made for these kind of action comedy roles, isn't it? And there'll be a rock bottom in it, won't there? And,
probably people's eyebrow.
People's eyebrow. So smouldering look, but I would be interested in that. But I'll wait and see. It's got to have some. It might even have that bird from What's Her Face in it. Sex and City.
Oh yeah, Kim Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall.
She's looking a little bit like. It
sounds
really mean
a zombie in it.
Well, yeah, she's getting older now, so and I know that's the wrong thing. I'm probably objectifying her there, but what I'm saying is, it's not because her looks have gone or anything like that. But she didn't look good. She looked like she'd had.
Wasn't there like a rumor why she got the part for the last movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes,
I'm not touching on that. Harvey Weinstein.
But
I think that what I mean is that she looks like she's had a botched plastic surgery job or something. She didn't look good. She looked like one of those where someone had the wrong Botox. They picked up the wrong syringe and her face melted. But sorry, Kim. I know she's a long time listener of the show.
That's my wife you're talking about.
Oh shit. Okay, well I think that'll wrap up for news because we've gone longer than we really thought. We thought with Shaun not here that it wouldn't go very long.
I think Shaun would have reined us in on that last part. He would have been doing a finger on the neck to me, going, "Don't mention this thing about." But we had to get it out there. We've touched on it now.
Yeah, we've done it.
And
we ain't big enough to cause any controversy. So.
But when we're famous later on, this will probably get picked up and we'll get James Gunn.
Definitely. Right, well I think now let's move on. Let's go on to what we've been consuming. I don't have the best... We're going to have to think up a better term for this section. But what we've been playing, what we've been watching, what we've been doing.
Lots of things.
So, I have been playing God of War. Now, I know I've talked about this before, but the reason why I'm going to bring it up is that I finally completed the game.
No, you'll bring it up because I've got an Xbox and I can't play it. Is that what you're bringing up?
Well, not really. I'm just bringing it up because it's... Listen, I've got to say, I mean, when I say I completed it, yes, Shaun, no, Shaun. I've not done 100%. I haven't done all the side stuff, but I have
boy.
Seen the end credits, boy. But it was an incredible game, Gino. I got to tell you, it is. I haven't put together a top 10 list of my favourite games of all time, but without going through a list, it could possibly make my top 10. It was such a good game.
I probably would. What is? I do not know anything about it.
Well, I'll be totally honest with you. I've never played a God of War game before. I know bits about them because I've obviously been interested in gaming for years. I've read stuff. I've seen videos of the old kind. This one doesn't really play like the old versions anyway.
It's a third person.
So it's a third person game. It's sort of hack and slash, I guess, in a way. Do you know what I mean? You sort of use different combos and stuff. No. It's real time combat. You've got this axe basically that you can throw, and it's like an enchantment axe, so it freezes them and stuff like that. So it's what's kind of cool is when you get like multiple enemies, you can throw your axe into one of them, it freezes it, and then you start fist fighting the other guy and stuff, and then you call it back like a bit like Force Hammer. Like you call it and it comes back to your hand.
Cool, yeah. Sounds a bit like that game I used to play on Xbox. I can't remember what it's called now, where you were the god of something.
Okay. I don't know what that was.
I can't remember what it's called now. I always forget about it.
Darksiders?
Yes.
There we go.
But I really like that game. I can never remember it. You know the one where the thing does the thing?
Oh, that one. I really like that thing. But what's quite good about the axe as well is that you don't just use it for combat. You can use it in sort of puzzles and stuff as well. Sometimes
chopping down trees.
Yeah, there is some chopping involved, yes. But also you
I hear chopping, but no digging.
chop, dig. So there are moments in the game when you've got to like move contraptions, and it like might open a gate or door or something. And what you do is you can throw your axe into the door, and it freezes it in place above the sort of opening, and then you run through and then pull your axe back. So you use it for stuff like that. And you've got a son in it called Atreus, who does his own thing. But like when you're pointing at an enemy, if you press square, X to you Xbox users, it will he shoots arrows at them, so you can use that to sort of distract them and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a bit Far Cry 5ish where I've got you get animals and you can go over there and do that, and then it's a bit like that. Yeah. I probably would have liked it, but
it's not. The thing is, right, the combat is really fun. The game is good. It's full of puzzles, really good stuff. But the story is just brilliant. It's such.
Oh, we do love a good story.
A melancholy story that's so well written and. What I know about Kratos in the past and how he's been sort of a character that basically goes around killing everybody and shagging all the women, it's such a different take on the character, but it's not because it's a sequel. It doesn't. Yeah, well, it doesn't revise the character in such. It's an evolution of the character. The character is now grown. He's got this son that he's trying to sort of look after and protect. His son doesn't know his backstory. Doesn't actually know that his dad's a god, and doesn't know that he's. Not just a god, but the god of war, and obviously killed many people.
Dad, what do you do for a job?
I chop trees.
I throw my axe and freeze people.
Boy. So the story was, and the fact that obviously the original games are sort of based in Greek mythology. And this one has gone into Norse mythology. So there's a lot of characters that we know from the Marvel universe.
Is Hercules in it?
No, he's not actually. But he's Greek though, isn't he? And this isn't Greek this time. But Thor's in it, and he's not. You don't actually see him, but he's sort of referenced in it. Odin's referenced in it, but there are other sort of Norse mythology gods that you fight. The combat, the boss battles are fucking ace as well. There's one guy who looks remarkably like Conor McGregor, so I think that I'm surprised that McGregor isn't sort of after a bit of pay for that to say, hang on a minute, you've stolen my likeness.
Fuck you. You do nothing.
You're doing nothing.
You do nothing.
And it's just such a good game. The story is very the way that it's sort of the stories are told, the sort of theatrical side of it is very keeping with the PlayStation exclusive type games like Uncharted and Last of Us. They're very cinematic games. Very, very cinematic.
Look, Jason, you're trying to sell me PlayStation. Do you get commission?
No, but they are good. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, Gino. If I didn't have friends on Xbox,
if I didn't have friends,
I would.
You have no friends.
Buy the PlayStation over Xbox. I really would.
I don't know. I used to have PlayStation. I used to play Resident Evil, but
it's because the exclusives are so much better on the PlayStation. They are. I mean, I love Gears of War games. I like Halo games, but there's just more diversity in the exclusive games for PlayStation. They have more different.
Can I use an Xbox controller on PlayStation or Xbox?
Do you know there are modified controllers, the Xbox controllers that will work on? Yes, you could get one. You could get one, but the PS4 controller is actually all right. To be fair, it's better than the PS4.
If you're listening, PlayStation, you can send me a free PlayStation.
Yeah, send us free
PlayStation,
free PlayStation, please, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll let you know, and I'll play on it like once every so often.
There we go.
As I do with whatever consoles.
Apart from that, I haven't really been playing anything different than the usual online stuff like FIFA, Call of Duty, all that blah 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 blah. But I did play watch a thing called Late Shift. Have you heard of this?
No.
It's technically a movie, but it's an interactive movie.
Yeah.
And it is a movie that, you know, when they're sort of like branching.
Obviously, Branston Pickle.
Branston Pickle.
It was a Branston Pickle. I'm interested.
It's an advert.
Is it cheesy?
It was a bit cheesy, I've got to be honest. Because
was it a movie or was it?
Well, it's technically a movie. I did read some of it. It was shown in cinemas, so it must be a movie as well. But basically, what it is that you get to certain points in the game or the movie, I should say, where you have to make choices. So the characters
bit Mass Effect-y, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, you kind of go like, you know, there'd be like, this isn't really a spoiler because it's right at the start. You're working in you're doing the late shift as per the title in a sort of overnight secure car garage.
Yeah.
And this older bloke turns up with this young blonde girl, and they disappear off, and then she comes back and says, "Oh, I need the keys to the car." And he says, "Well, you know, does he know that you're taking it?" She's like, "Yeah, of course." And he goes, "Well, you won't mind if I ring him then and ask him?" And she's like, No. Okay, he doesn't know, but I just need it. Blah blah blah. And then it's like it stops and it comes up and says,
I've heard about this
do you want to give him the keys or not?" And basically you get entwined in this sort of criminal, like heist type thing that you get forced into, and you can either go along with it or you can try and resist. I kind of tried to resist and kept trying to run away.
We're the same, aren't we?
What, trying to be a good guy?
Yeah, we always try to be good guys. I like to play. I'm going to kill everyone. Oh no, I'm not.
I can't do it. I
love you all.
Yeah, so that was all right. I mean, it wasn't a great story. The acting was okay, but I think as a proof of concept, I think it worked all right. I'd be interested in playing more games like this if they were decent. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think it kind of harks back to your kind of Broken Sword days. I think.
Oh, I love it. I love a game like that.
Yeah, I think that's why you like it. I do like those because sometimes. I'm really bad for. I'm probably partly autistic or something, but like I can't really. Sometimes I don't like concentrating too much.
Yeah.
Do you know, like when you're playing a game, sometimes you're like, oh, I'll just go on my phone a minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, something's happening. You know, and I kind of like the game where you can sit back and just I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about having to mash buttons in the right order or or you know what I mean.
Well, to be fair on this one, all you're doing is reacting to. You get a choice, and you get like a window to do it. It gives you like a timer countdown quickly. So there's not a lot of thinking involved because it's more reactive than anything. You kind of have a split decision, which I kind of like because it kind of helped emulate.
A bit like those games that they did for Walking Dead. Or not as much.
Kind of, in the sense that in that you also get split second decisions, but on that game you could still walk around and pick things up and that. Whereas this, you don't control the character. All you do is make decisions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so you don't tell the character to do anything other than does he go through the door or does he go down the stairs?
Oh, yeah.
Does he go with the woman or does he? Does he lie? Does he tell the truth? Do you know what I mean? It's just split second decisions basically.
Yeah.
But it was alright. I enjoyed it. And it was only like an hour and a half. It's like a movie length. So it's a one and done type. You could play it again and try and get the different endings, but I didn't find the story that compelling to go back and play it. But it was okay.
Wasn't that another game you were playing when we were last there with Shaun with that robot guy? Who was an investigator?
Oh yeah, that was a demo for Detroit Become Human, which I'm going to play at some point, but my schedule is pretty maxed out with the next games that are coming out. But yeah, that is definitely on my list of games I want to play because I'm a big fan. I know David Cage, the guy who makes these games. He made Heavy Rain. He made Beyond Two Souls. He made the Indigo Prophecy.
He's also in Mortal Kombat. Oh no, it's Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, that's his older brother. And I like those sort of games, and really, actually, those games sort of are very similar to that. Okay, this is a movie that does that, but it's that same principle as you just making decisions. A lot of people did argue that like Heavy Rain wasn't a game. Sorry, it was just an interactive movie. Well, this is an interactive movie. It's the same principle, and I like that sort of thing. I don't It's not my favourite type of game, but I appreciate it.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
the thing is, I
it's
think
a
they
different
invest
type of game, isn't
They
it?
invest more time in the story, which is quite good. And but I think sometimes I do like just be able to sit back and I don't mind those games every so often.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a bit of a break from the norm of like,
Exactly, or killing things. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a complete pussy, but you know, games are so centric around killing things. You know what I mean? It's hard to find games for your children because everything's about killing people. You know, and it's not the same.
Young.
It's not the same as it used to be when we were growing up. When you play like the Mega Drive or the SNES,
You just beat up people.
Well,
and
and
then
even
they
if
fall
you
on the floor and disappear.
well, even if you shot people, they just kind of disappeared. It wasn't like, oh
Blood
my god,
everywhere.
I've just actually shot them in the face and they're dead.
Decapitated
And now
them,
they're dead corpses looking at me. It's weird. You know, I can't close their eyes or anything.
And now I'm mushroom stomping them.
Yeah, exactly. And teabagging them just to make sure.
Yeah.
No wonder
mushroom
kids
stamp,
become
isn't it?
desensitized.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. It's I do like some. Well, that's what Nintendo does well sometimes with those games that are a little bit more kiddie, but
Definitely, yeah.
you can still play them as an adult and not feel too, you know.
Like you're playing a kids game.
Yeah, they're playing a kids game.
But yeah, so that's all I've been playing. So you've been playing a particular game, haven't you, Gino? Which you've said is the best game you've ever played.
So I took the dive and I thought I'm going to play Stardew Valley on
Which
Switch.
is a very, very popular game.
Which is a very popular game, and I bought it. It was a toss-up between that and Octopath, which sounds like a James Bond game.
Is it Octopath?
I don't know.
Something Traveller, isn't it? Octopath Traveller.
Travelers. I mean, so basically, I put out on Twitter that I had a Switch and what I should get, and I had Odyssey. A lot of people were telling me to get Octopath, and a couple of people said Stardew Valley. So I toss up. It was on offer, so I bought it. Biggest.
I've got to say,
worst decision of my life.
I've got to say, before we go any further, that's one thing we were talking about. Games to play on the Switch. I do think the one thing the Switch does, well, I'd say Nintendo rather than Switch, but what they do on the Switch a lot better than Xbox and PlayStation is they do have a lot of good deals on popular games.
Yeah,
you
there
know,
are a lot of indie games that people
on Xbox and PlayStation, you get deals, but a lot of the time it's either a shit game you don't want to play, or it's a game that they go special deal and it's like £33 and it costs £40 in the shop. Yeah. So you're like, well, I've only saving £7, so what's the fucking point?
And then you can't even sell it back to the shop because I would have done this with Stardew Valley if I had it in physical form.
Like when I bought Thimbleweed Park, I bought it for like £8. Do you know what I mean? It was
so
like,
is that like a building game as well? Is it?
No. That's like a Monkey Island point and click game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so this basically, you probably all know about this Stardew Valley. So you get Stardew Valley, you inherit a farm from some, I think it's your granddad, or gives you this note. And he says, go live your life and be happy. Well, I'm unhappy, granddad.
In my farm.
And you ruined my life. I've moved to this farm in the middle of nowhere.
Moved to your shitty farm.
Yeah, and your shitty farm that you've probably given to me because it's a shit on. It's an island. It's like an island.
Do you remember Astro Farm?
Can you tell we're living in an asteroid and out of space? Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to put that as the outro for this. I normally put the theme tune to
Red Bull?
No, it was the Far Cry spin-off.
Oh, yeah, Blood Dragon.
That's what I normally do. But today, you're going to do Astro Farm.
So, basically,
for a treat.
My granddad, being an absolute asshole, said, oh, take this note and go live your life, because I was working a dead-end job and something or other. So I go to the Stardew, and I'm a dead-end job on this shitty farm, earning no money. And probably if I had cows, they'd have BSE. I don't know. But, so I got here, I started planting plants. I talk to everyone, and everyone literally hates me. Unless I give them presents. I've been talking to this old man in I literally do not know what I'm supposed to do. I found a mine. I went down in a mine.
A mine?
Yeah, a mine. Yeah, a mine, not a mine. I was kidnapped by a bunch of mimes.
Stuck in a perspex box.
Once I was kidnapped by a bunch of mimes once. They did unspeakable things to me. But so I don't. If anyone can come to me on Twitter and just say this is how you're supposed to play it, because I've literally got no money. I'm planting crops. I've made sprinklers. I've made sprinklers by mining crap, copper. See, this is how boring this game is. And I don't.
Well, do you know what? It reminds me of when you're flicking through the games, and I always see pop up on whatever gaming market is, whether it be Windows, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I see this game on all of them, Farming Simulator, and I think, what kind of a person plays Farming Simulator?
I know, and this game I thought would be fun, but it's monotonous and it's crap. And I can't get
It's a resource management game, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can't make enough money to buy any decent things. So all I'm literally doing is chopping stuff. And you run out of energy. So I'm chopping all my stuff and the next thing I know, you collapsed. And it costs you 50 quid to take you back to the house. And then
who's taking you back for 50 quid?
Exactly. And then I went down in the mine, and then some bloke said, I saved you from the mine, you collapsed. Some guys were going for your wallet. And I was like, some guys, inverted commas, you bastard.
he says as he's stuffing money into his pocket.
Yeah, and everyone I talk to just seems to don't talk to me. And then you go to a calendar, and it is the most confusing game. There's no... Maybe I've got used to games that are linear, where they tell me where to go and what to do. Maybe I've got too used to this.
Getting older, aren't you?
But this game just, I thought it would be really... And the controls are quite clunky. I think it might have been arranged for PC or something.
Was originally. No, this is, I don't know if you know the backstory. It's the game's been out for years on PC.
Yeah, so on a PC it might be a lot easier. But when I'm trying to plant stuff, I put posts up and it's just, everything's awkward. And I'm just not enjoying it. And what makes me piss off anymore is I downloaded it. And I thought my missus might like it. And I was like, and she played it for about 5 minutes and got on board. And that's what says it all. And Jason was going to get it for his wife.
I've taken mine now.
But I think, I might bring it over.
Does this give you a worst score ever? 7 thumbs down?
If I could give it minuses, I would. But I don't know. If it was an asteroid in outer space, I probably would be happier.
There are a lot of Stardew Valley fans out there right now if you pause this at the right moment, you can actually hear the moment that their hearts break.
I'm willing to try. Look, I've spent money on this game. Money that I could have spent on something else.
Real money. And do you know what the worst part is about this is what we don't like about the virtual market of buying digital only games is, like you said earlier, you can't trade it in, you can't sell it on eBay. Once you've bought it.
Well done, Brian Chappell, following us on Twitter. Thank you.
Shout out to Brian. Just what did he do?
Big Brian. I don't know. I think he liked our pictures. You haven't got the physical thing to take it to the shop and say, this is shit, I want to take it back. And then CX go, well, you
pretend there was a scratch on it. You'd go, this got a scratch, I want to bring it back. Okay, do you want to change it for the same game? No.
Or go CX, because I'm not going to call it sex, because that's just weird.
That was called?
Yeah, it's called sex.
I'm calling it kex.
I call it. I've come in here with a cure for cancer. What can you give me? 50p. No. I bought this game for I remember I bought Kane and Lynch Dead Men and then took it back to Blockbuster and tried to get a refund on it. They said no. Can I trade it in? Yeah, we'll give you 20 quid. I'm like, I just bought it literally 2 seconds ago for like £45.
Bullshit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no wonder you went out of business. So yeah, I'm Stardew Valley. If you're out there, fans, you can come at me. And I will cut you down because it's the worst game I've ever played in a long, long time. It's taken over from Kane and Lynch Dead Men from my worst game.
Shocking.
And Kane and Lynch... Oh, actually, no. Fable 2 was pretty bad. I didn't like that.
A lot of people like that as well.
Yeah, I know.
It's got a very strong following.
I didn't
like it. I'm
I accidentally hit my wife in it and he took my kid away. That was really
I remember
bad.
I got an STD or something on it.
No, that's not
in real life.
This is where we need Shaun.
In the game.
No,
okay. Well,
I'm not going to go on about it because it's my
Stardew
thing.
Valley.
But Stardew Valley is Starpoo Valley in my eyes.
Very good.
Very
good.
childish there. Very play on words.
Okay. Well, let's move on to what we've been watching then.
My money go down the drain buying games on.
Very good. That's a better joke. You brought it back. You redeemed yourself.
Thank you.
So, movie-wise, do you know what? I'm struggling to remember what movies I've watched recently, but I did watch Jurassic World 2.
I only watched Jurassic Park 1.
Jurassic World 1. Did you say Jurassic Park World?
Jurassic Park World.
That's the next one.
Computer game.
Jurassic World 2 is
Return of the Jurassics.
It is what it is. I mean, Jurassic Park is not always a home run anyway. I mean, the first Jurassic Park is a fucking classic. You know, it's one of my favourite films.
They're shutting down the theme park in Thingyland.
What?
In Orlando, whatever it is, Disneyland.
What, a real Jurassic Park?
No, the Jurassic Park ride, they're shutting it.
Why?
Because it's just old now.
Oh,
I've just seen a thing.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
You're going to bring back a new one called Jurassic
Triceratops
World.
Rex going out to stud now. So.
Well, so Jurassic Park was amazing. Lost World, I think, wasn't as good, but it had strong moments. Do you know what I mean?
Can I watch Lost World without watching the other one?
The Lost World?
Whatever it is.
Do you mean Jurassic World?
Jurassic World, yeah. I don't know. That's how far behind I am on it.
Without watching which one?
Can I watch this?
Which ones have you seen?
Which Which movie?
Which what? When? How?
What are you saying?
So you've seen what? Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
So Jurassic...
Can I watch Jurassic World 2, whatever it is, without watching the other one?
No.
No, because there's that blue in it.
Well, for two reasons. One, because narratively it relies on the first one.
And two, I have to watch the other one.
And the first one's better anyway. So why would you do that to yourself?
Okay,
so Jurassic World I thought Jurassic World was fine. A lot of people criticised it, but I thought for what it was, a sort of return to an old series. It was fine. It was better than Jurassic World 3. Anyone that tells you otherwise is an idiot. And there are fucking proper people that do this sort of thing for a living on podcasts I've listened to that said Jurassic World was not as good as Jurassic Park 3. You're wrong. Jurassic Park 3 was shit.
Rubbish.
Lost World was okay. It had some good moments. Like,
isn't that the one when they went in New York? Is that Jurassic Park 3 when they took Tyrannosaurus Rex?
No, that's the Lost World.
Oh, that was crap as well.
Well, it had moments. I thought the bit with the two Tyrannosaurus Rexes on the cliff was good. That's Vince Vaughn, didn't it?
Yeah,
I thought it had its moments. Jurassic Park 3 was terrible. That's where the Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
Do you remember the Spinosaurus?
No,
the big fin on its back.
Spinosaurus.
It's where Alan Grant went to the second island.
It sounds like we said that's when Avram Grant went to the next.
Alan Grant, no,
What's
Alan
he
Grant.
doing there?
I never knew the Spinosaurus. No, I never. I don't think I even watched it, to be fair.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to try and watch these ones.
You should watch them.
I've been trying to get them on a thing that's not entirely legal, but
Oh god.
yeah. But
So Jurassic World 2 is watchable. It was enjoyable enough that you watch it on a Saturday night and you go, yeah, it's fine. But it makes me feel like, although they will inevitably make another one, I kind of feel like, okay, it doesn't really. I don't know where this is going now. They're running out of ideas, and it kind of became borderline a horror movie rather than a. I know you can argue that Jurassic Park, was a horror movie, but it wasn't really. It was a.
I watched Jurassic
amazing
Park
film.
ages.
Jurassic Park's amazing. I love it. Shoot her!
But
Shoot
clever
her!
girl.
Yeah. Robert Muldoon knew from day one. He knew that it was going to be disaster at that place, and nobody fucking listened to him because he said shoot her. What did they do?
Yeah.
They missed. So they weren't actually following his instructions. So anyway, Jurassic World 2 is fine. Watch it. You'll enjoy it, especially if you like Jurassic Park. But don't hang your hat on it. It's not the best movie you're going to see all year. I also watched. I'll tell you some TV shows before I go on to the last movie because it's something that we will discuss. I think I've been watching with my wife a program called Castle Rock.
Is it a follow-on from Fraggle Rock?
Oh, that's what. Every time we put it on, my wife starts singing Fraggle Rock. She loves
Down
it.
at Castle Rock.
There used to be the Fraggles with massive hair.
Yeah.
Massive hair.
Swing them in the air.
So
Moving swiftly on.
it's
Is it anything to do with Stephen King?
It is,
the
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
not quite-
a
it's-
lot about Stephen King.
It's not quite what I thought it was. I thought it looked like when I saw the trailers, it was going to be like an amalgamation of all his sort of works in some kind of some weird multiverse.
Aliens.
But it's not. It's more. It's like an original story that kind of references
Everything.
It's almost like more. The Stephen King link is almost more Easter, like multitude of Easter eggs. Like there's a prison on it which is called Shawshank. The main one of the main characters is the same actor that played It in the new It.
I like it.
I really like that film. Someone opens a newspaper and there's a news report about a rabid dog, which is obviously the book Cujo, which is a Stephen King book. One of the characters' mums is the actress that played the original Carrie in the 1970s Carrie movie.
Did you see that there was a link that Carrie was Matilda?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah.
So there's a lot of like references to other stuff, but the story itself is essentially they in the Shawshank prison they go to like an area of the prison which is not used anymore, and they find a guy, a sort of young man, sort of early 20s, I guess, and he's been locked in a cage in a basement. And it turns out that the ex-warden who recently killed himself had been keeping him there because he believes he was the devil. And it's kind of this, is it, isn't it? There's some kind of paranormal elements to it. I don't want to say too much of spoiling it, but it's a really well-acted show. It is a good show. I actually really, really like it. I don't want to say too much because it's a mystery show. You can't really say too much.
Do you have to know about Stephen King?
Not at all. Because
that's kind of put me off it because I know a few of his things. But I know if Shaun was here, he'd probably stab me. But I don't mind him as an author. Some of his stuff is alright, but it can be a bit weird.
Yeah,
mostly
definitely.
It comes down to aliens.
It's definitely
times,
weird.
isn't it?
I mean, I like Stephen King. I mean, some of his books. I mean, Some of it's my favourite. Well, I say
It goes from brilliance to crap quite easy.
well, I think everybody's got that in him, haven't they? But I mean, I love
Apart from us, obviously.
I love the Running Man book, which he wrote under a pseudonym, but it's incredible and it's so much better than the film. Even though it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, the book is better than the film.
What?
I mean, that's not unusual, is it?
No, it's not unusual.
But
Ready Player One.
But no, the answer is you don't have to. No, you could watch this show and you because like I said, all it is Easter eggs. So you just miss them, and it doesn't,
I love
it doesn't
Easter
matter.
eggs.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'd recommend watching. I think you'd like it.
I'll try it. Is it on Amazon?
I don't actually know where I'm watching it. To be honest,
I thought I saw it on Amazon.
it might be on Amazon. I can't remember, to be honest. But
Isn't
it's
Castle
good.
Rock in what's it called? Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Casterly Rock. But yeah, very close. Very close.
Very close. Thanks a lot.
So the other thing I watched was Deadpool 2 because you were trying to get me to watch it, and I finally watched it. Yeah, and I liked it. I don't know if it was as impactful as the first one.
But my second favourite. Well, one of my Juggernaut was one of my main.
Yeah, it was good to see Juggernaut in there.
I'm a Juggernaut, you bitch.
Yeah, it wasn't that terrible Billy Jones delivery. I thought the fight between we're spoiling stuff here. There is spoilers here.
But the thing is, it's come out on DVD. I most people have seen it. If you haven't seen it,
the fight between Juggernaut and Colossus.
Colossus.
Was decent. I liked Colossus's
CGI was a bit.
It was ropey on Colossus, particularly, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I agree with that.
It was a little bit ropey.
I felt like the budget wasn't quite there, but to be fair, it isn't. Well, I would have thought after the first one they would have had a decent.
Did you see the cameo?
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
the
cameo.
They're very good. Man. There's a character who's an Invisible Man, and for a split second, you get to see what he looks like, and it's a cameo of a very well-known actor, and that was very good.
Apparently, his fee for appearing in it was just to go for coffee with Ryan Reynolds.
Is that right?
That was his appearance.
Ryan Reynolds is a cool dude, to be fair. He does seem like that.
But the thing is, now I've noticed he plays the same thing in every movie now. Because he did the bodyguard.
He's become typecast, hasn't he?
Yeah, Hitman's Bodyguard is the same thing.
Well, he's always been quippy, hasn't he? If you ever watched... What was that film he was in that made his name, where he was at the American college and he was at the pie... Shit, I'm trying to remember.
I know. I see. He was. But the thing is, he's like
Van Wilder or something like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, in Green Lantern, he was kind of the same, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then like Tom Cruise has been linked to doing that. Hasn't he?
I did like the references to that at the end to Green Lantern and also Wolverine Origins as well. Very good.
Well, they're trying to get Wolverine to come back, aren't they? But
because he keeps turning up on the red carpet, doesn't he? Like jumping up behind. Photobombing and stuff and trying to
they have a little thing on Facebook on
Hugh Jackman
Twitter
to come back, and they should. I think. I mean, I understand why Hugh Jackman doesn't, because obviously
it takes a lot of training for him to get in touch.
Well, and also the Wolverine movie it wrapped up the story, didn't it? So
they say there's like a thing where Deadpool gets him alive again. You seen that YouTube video?
No, I haven't.
Whereas like at the end you see Deadpool walks into the where they bury him.
Yeah.
Deadpool walks in. And he comes in, and he's got that stuff that he injects himself with that makes him go super. He's got a load of that, and he's like, "Oh, hey, buddy," and he's gonna apparently brings him back to life type thing.
That'd be good. That would be good. I mean, he died in the comics, and he come back to life. So it's
the thing is, there's so the X-Men. If we had a thing about the X-Men timeline, you'd be here all day because it's just totally and utterly fucked.
Defo.
And I'm pretty happy. Well, I've heard that the Fantastic Four is going to be. They're looking at. Because the thing is that the Infinity Wars was great. I really liked Infinity War. I really, really liked it. But there's so many missing parts, like with Civil War as well. Like Strange, not Doctor Strange. What's his face? Reed Richards.
Yeah,
has a big part to play in it. But again, getting nerdy on everyone. But
now that the Fox deal looks like it's going through, I imagine they'll be able to sort of incorporate it in. But they give them more storylines to involve. I mean, it's good because. One reason why it works better that we haven't had those characters is now when your Chris Hemsworth and
all that move on
that they won't need to recast them. They're just bringing other characters from the universe. You can just then bring in the Fantastic Four and you can bring in
because they're saying about doing Ironheart. Have you ever heard of a character called Ironheart?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. Well, but apparently it's Ironheart or something, or Iron Suit. It's a different version of Iron Man, which is I think it's an African girl or something.
Okay.
Who Tony Stark helps make a suit, and she
takes over,
and she does she's on the Peter Parker kind of program where she's being trained by him, and she does little things. And apparently they might be bringing that in.
Yeah,
I think
makes
she's called
sense.
Ironheart or something like that. But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
because Robert Downey Jr. I think he signed up for a couple more movies, but
Well,
he can't carry on
I
doing
mean,
it.
that's the other thing as well. Is like in the comics, I'm pretty sure like
And
I
you
can't
can make a new Iron Man because the thing is the suit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, yeah. You can do that. Like it's like with James Bond. Like Idris Elba would be a good James
well,
Bond.
that's
But it's
the,
a code name, isn't it? I think.
yeah,
James
yeah,
Bond.
yeah. Well, that's the thing though. In the comics, other people have donned the suits. Like there's been like 3 different Captain Americas because obviously Bucky Barnes, yeah.
Well, I think that's going to happen.
became Captain America, and also the guy who plays Falcon became Captain America for a little while as well.
Bucky Barnes looks suspiciously like Mark Hamill, though, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he does. He's got the
He's
same
got the whole
mouth.
face. The face.
No,
face,
that can't be true.
face before the crash, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-crash.
But
So that's what I've been watching, Gino. What have you been watching?
well, I've been watching. Keeping with Marvel, I've been watching Lucky Man. Stanley's Lucky Man.
I'm a lucky man.
Yeah, I thought it would be good to have, but it has got quite a good theme tune. But
Is it that song
what do I
from
theme
The Verve?
tune? No, it's I think it might be Play My Faith singing it.
Oh.
It sounds like her. But anyway,
So
about a guy who gets so how it works is he's a police officer,
Yep.
gambling addiction.
Yep.
He's gambling on a table, loses loads of money. His whole life's in jeopardy at the time.
So he's not so lucky to start with then.
Not so lucky. To
Is that
start
the
with.
irony of the name?
That's the irony. So then he's got a gambling addiction, all the rest of it. He goes drinking. He meets this beautiful woman at the table. They're drinking together, and she's putting bets on. She's winning. They pass out. He wakes up in bed. He's got his bracelet on,
Yeah.
and this bracelet gives him luck, unbelievable luck. And I mean, like to the point where someone's shooting him, he can hit the bullet. Something falls in the way and deflects the bullet. It's like that much, like that lucky woman from
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
Yep.
But as it moves on, not to ruin it too much, but as it moves on, there's a price for it. So
Of course.
all the luck it has, there's a yin to the yang. There's a balance to it. So
Does like pass it on to his relatives or something?
well, it's a kind of like it affects people around him that he loves.
Yeah, yeah.
They get bad luck if he gets good. So
Makes
kind
sense.
of there's him wrestling with his demons with gambling. There's him working as a police officer where he gets all lucky leads.
Yeah.
It develops really, really well. Stanley makes some guest appearances in it.
Because he has to.
Because he has to, but it's a typical British cop thing, but with a twist, and it's quite good, and it's getting. I watched the first series ago. I got halfway through the second, then I realised it was all on LTV, so I've been watching it. And I think the next episode is on tomorrow. But yeah, it's a good little. It's gritty. It's got like little stories, so it's good thing to watch. I watch with your other half because it's kind of got a little love story in it and all the rest of it. But it's a solid series, and I quite enjoy watching it. It's quite easy to watch.
Nice.
But yeah, so yeah, it's pretty good. I would recommend it.
Sounds worthwhile.
Well, it is worthwhile. It's pretty good. But like I say, it's Marvel.
Is it not MCU though?
No, it's not Marvel, but it's.
It is Marvel. Marvel comic, isn't it? Isn't it?
No, it's not a comic. Now you're thinking of Preacher, maybe, aren't you?
No,
No?
I'm not. I thought Marvel was part. I thought it was
Stanley
part.
wasn't Marvel. It's just a Stanley's Lucky Man. It doesn't say Marvel on it, so I don't
Oh,
know
right.
if it's Marvel. It's just done by Stan Lee.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so it's just it's an off-spin thing. I'm not sure if it's a comic or not, but it doesn't seem to be. We're just checking sources now, e.g. Google. There are other there's no other search engines. Don't even talk about.
Yeah, I think it's just a TV show.
It's just a
I don't
TV
think
show.
It's based on anything.
No, but it's pretty good.
Fair enough.
But and then James Nesbitt in it, as people might know him from Lord of the Rings, and he does alright in it. So yeah, it's quite a good series. I would recommend it. But
Very good.
again, the other show I've been watching, which is I'm not sure if anyone else has been watching it. It's got mixed reviews. Is Disenchanted.
Yeah, I've
Matt Groening.
yes.
Always called him Matt Groening.
Groaning me too. Say it was spelt
Yeah.
until told otherwise.
Until otherwise, yeah.
I haven't watched. I've watched bits of it over the shoulder of my kids. I don't know whether
It's
I
not
should.
kid friendly.
Yeah,
It's not kid friendly.
they watched a couple of episodes, and I did sort of look over their shoulder and go, "Hang on, this is not," because Matt Groening.
Stop groaning.
That's always had. They've always been led where it's like,
We're like Futurama-esque.
yeah. So it's kids don't really notice the innuendo and stuff, whereas this one seems a little bit more.
Yeah, it
On
is.
the nose.
I think your kids could what? No, I don't think there's a lot of the stuff is quite blatant in it.
Mm.
But
Maybe I should stop them watching that then.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they might not get if they're innocent, but yeah, some of this
They are not.
it is more aimed at adults. I think it's kind of more. It's pushed Futurama a little bit more on the
Yeah.
on the thing. It's I think if you're watching it with fresh eyes,
Yeah.
it's okay. But I think if a lot of people are going, "Oh, it's not like Simpsons," it's not like, and you're like, "Well, Simpsons is a different thing.
Definitely.
Futurama is a different thing. You've got to look at this as another entity."
Yeah.
And the thing is, you do sit there. I'm sitting there going, "Oh, that's the voice for."
Yeah.
That's the voice for the bully, Nelson.
Yeah.
That's the voice. But it has got a lot of British actors in it.
So-
You've got Matt Berry in it,
Yeah.
who does a voice of a prince in it. Noel Fielding's in it, and he does a few voices. But yeah, I think it's a solid first few. It's not belly laugh.
So just for anyone that is just thinking, what the hell are we talking about? Disenchanted is a Netflix cartoon series which is made, as we've mentioned, by Matt Groening, who obviously made The Simpsons and Futurama. And as he did The Simpsons in current time, Futurama in the future, it made sense for him to do a fantasy-esque cartoon. It's kind of, I mean, we're in the age of Rick and Morty, aren't we? And a lot of things are trying to sort of have that same sort of humour, aren't they? That kind of inappropriate adult humour in a cartoon mould. Does it hit the mark or not?
Yeah. Thing is, I've had some parts of it where I've laughed. There's a funny scene with one of the characters in it's called Elfo.
Yeah,
and he lives in
it's a little
village.
sidekick, isn't he?
Yeah, but he lives in a village and everyone's name ends in O. So
Right.
it's really weird. So you've got Elfo, and then there's another guy called, for example, there's a guy called Steve, but they call him Steve-O, one of the guys disappeared is called Disappearo, and it's kind of like really funny stuff.
Yeah.
And it has got some funny parts in it, and then another parts you're like, I don't know. But it's a solid start, and the thing is, you've got to give it a go. I think you quite like it, but I think it's one of those ones. There's subtle laughs in it as well.
Yeah.
Where
it's
you've
not
got
necessarily a ha.
you look at it and go in the background, oh, that's funny, or she said something.
Do you know what? That's the thing. I think sometimes people think like comedy has to be laugh out loud, and it's not, because one of our favourite shows that we both enjoy, Community, I always felt was.
Community. It's on all
I always felt like it wasn't. I mean, it had laugh out loud moments. Don't get me wrong, but it was more amusing than it was laugh out loud, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So it was more sort of like amusing moments than like pissing yourself.
I think as well it developed quite well with Community, because the first season, like a lot of things with comedy shows, is the first season's always hard to get through sometimes, because you've either got into it late or you need to have a connection with the characters. Yeah, like with Community, with Abed and Troy. That relationship it starts off a bit weird, and then it gets really funny, like Troy and Abed in the morning and all that. They get that kind of bromance thing. Yeah. But when you first watch it, you don't get that. And I know you don't watch, but Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I do watch it, just slowly.
Yeah, but like watching the first season of it, you got
to get to know the characters and what.
And the first season's very grainy and like
and
then you
cheap.
And cheap. And then as it moves on, the characters develop, and you start building that rapport and getting the jokes.
When I first started watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia after your recommendation, the first thing I noticed was, fuck me, it's in like 4:3 ratio, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't even like widescreen. The only other show I watch in that format is The Simpsons.
I watched Trailer Park Boys. That's the first season of that is in that as well. But it's Disenchanted. I would, if you're a Simpsons fan, if you're a Futurama fan, give it time and just watch it, and just because there are good moments in it. And there are some kind of Simpsons-y jokes. There's one part where she climbs up the tower and she's laying on the floor. She goes, floor, lovely floor. You're always there supporting me, not like walls and stairs. They're in the way, which is a bit like Homer's, I love it.
Stupid floors.
Yeah, it's a bit like Homer when he goes, not like the mountains. The mountains don't forgive anyone, but the sea forgives all. Do you know what I mean? You know? And it's kind of, you can see how the same thing.
Right,
and it has, and things what's different with it, I guess, is I know Futurama did sometimes have continuous storylines, didn't it?
Yeah.
And Simpsons is nearly always individual.
Yes.
I think this has got an ongoing story through it, which makes it different, because you've got to
watch them in order.
Well, not even really. You could watch them individually, but you wouldn't get, because obviously at the beginning
things have happened.
Things have happened where you wouldn't notice what they were.
The overall story has progressed, and you go, hang on a minute, what's going on?
Which is different to what he's done before, because I'm guessing he never did stories before. So that's the difference.
Cool. All right. Well, I think I'll watch through that one. I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what's good about it, which you know as well, when you've got a spare 20 minutes, it's a 25
short
minute
episode.
Short episode.
Definitely.
You know, you could like Always Sunny or whatever. It's 20, 25 minutes.
Smash it through.
done, and you can move on to the next one without having to like investing an hour and a half.
Yeah, totally.
You know, into something which is quite good. Yeah,
Totally.
but yeah, so that's basically what I have been watching.
Excellent. Well, I think we'll wrap it up now, but we're finished with one last segment, which is
The sweetest segment of all.
we're literally just going to talk about what we are excited about watching or playing,
Christmas,
which is not which has not come out yet in 2018.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let's talk video games first. We've touched on, I think we mentioned this earlier, but the video game that I'm buying next week is the new Spider-Man game for the PlayStation. I know you can't play it because of the PlayStation, but you're welcome to come over to my house and play it.
I'm leaving the room.
You can come and play it around here. It looks fucking amazing though, doesn't it?
PlayStation, I'm talking to you right now. We are a big deal.
In this room.
We are a big deal. As Anchorman say, I am a big deal. Right, so just send me a free PlayStation. I'll play the games. I'll play your game. I'll say it's brilliant. There we are. Because Spider-Man, I love the Spider-Man games. Do you reckon Bruce Campbell's going to be in it? Because that would be mega if he's doing the tutorials. Because the tutorials are the best part of the games.
I don't know if he will, but the game does look fucking incredible to me. I think
it does look amazing. If they can get the dynamics right with it, because it's all about the combat with Spider-Man. Because
and swinging from
swinging. Even though like in the old games,
swinging from webs, Gino.
Swinging from webs. Well, he could swing.
Spider-Man, I know which keys these are. I've got the Spider-Man logo on it.
What the hell is this? Webbing all over everywhere. Oh yeah, webbing. But I remember the old games you could just swing through mid-air.
Yeah, exactly.
You could like spray into the sky. Oh, I'm swinging off a cloud. But I loved the game. That Spider-Man game was one of my favourites. That and I used to play an X-Men Origin game on the GameCube, and that was really good as well.
Yeah,
which had the combat on with Wolverine. But yeah, Spider-Man games, they are brilliant if done right. And that I'm gonna confess I have looked at it, and it probably would be the reason I would buy a PlayStation.
Well,
to buy
listen,
that game.
you can come out and play it here. I may even lend you my PlayStation because I'm that sort of friend.
Thank you.
But other than that, really, for me, it's only Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh yeah, oh god, yeah, all the way.
That's probably going to see the year out for me, I think.
Yeah, probably that'll last me a good 2 years. I'll be like Shaun, like playing games that are 4 years old.
Red Dead Redemption.
I'm still trying to complete Space Invaders.
Do you think Red Dead Redemption is the best Rockstar game? Is it better than Grand Theft Auto? Because a lot of people think so.
It's a hard one because they're two different games.
You're right, because Red Dead Redemption is a more...
Oblivion and Fallout.
Yeah.
They're two different games.
I think Red Dead Redemption succeeded at what Grand Theft Auto 4 tried to do. Whereas it had... Yes, you still had those kind of weird caricature characters in Red Dead Redemption. But the main character, John Marston, was quite serious and po-faced, wasn't he? He was quite... And that's kind of what they did with Nico Bellic, which everybody sort of like cried about and said, "Oh, you know, we normally like this."
I didn't mind Nico so much.
I didn't mind it so much, but a lot of people didn't like 4. They like, you know, whereas you look at 5 and they went completely the other way, didn't they? Those 3 characters were like fucking
crazy, yeah,
over the top.
I never played that game because we know why. Save point.
God, yeah, we had.
I played that boat level like 100 times.
But no, I think Red Dead Redemption. In some ways it is the best one because it's the most sort of like complete story, I think, you know, in an actual narrative of a character, because I think on Grand Theft Auto normally the character's just a proxy for you to be in that world and cause like havoc, whereas with Red Dead Redemption it really was, yes, it was an open world, but it was John Marston's story, wasn't it? You told that story of him getting revenge on what's his face's gang.
Yeah, and the thing is as well with it, I think I know the customizing of your character is always great, but with Red Dead, you're a cowboy.
Yeah,
you know, and it was
I'm
just
a cowboy, baby,
with a 6-string on my back.
No, but it was just and the storyline at the end with the bullet time when you go out there.
Oh, that ending was one of the best.
It's a very Butch Cassidy though, wasn't it?
It's very kind of like, and it doesn't matter how many times you reload that and think, no, this time I'm going to take everyone out.
Yeah, you can't.
And
then the bit where you go as his son and you
get revenge.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm just hoping it's not like Mass Effect where they took the main character out and then it ruined the whole thing.
And then they went too far, yeah. But it looks amazing, mate. The world on this one looks fucking incredible.
This is what I like. This is what annoys me about Fallout, because it was like everything's all dull, and I like the whole change of scenery to snow to green to desert. It makes
Oblivion.
Yeah, Oblivion. Yeah, and also
Best for Elder Scrolls, by the way, ever.
I like Oblivion was good, mate. But yeah,
Better than Skyrim.
I think if you they have remastered Oblivion, and it was good. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to Red Dead. It's one of those games that I will invest a lot of time in.
Me too.
So I will complete 100%, which is no bullshit. I'll do the storyline. I'll just leave.
Credits, I'm out, baby.
I used to leave. Yeah, hunting on it was great.
Because when the character, I know the thing doesn't understand me, right? Yeah, sorry, doesn't understand me. That's terrible.
No one understands you apart from me. Apart from me.
What the thing is, one of the reasons why I like doing the credits, because sometimes your character dies, right? And then like the credits roll, and then all of a sudden your character stood there, and it's like you can carry on exploring. It's like, but my character's dead. How is he stood there? You know, I can't do this now.
See, I want to see. This is the thing that's not making me replay on Far Cry 5. Something that happens at the end. Because it's like, something happens at the end, and they're like, yeah, just go around. I'm like, how am I doing this?
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But Definitely. You'll see if you do get to play it. I might lend it to you actually, because I've got it.
Well, they did the same on Far Cry 3, because I ended up like actually taking the bad ending for once and sided with that woman, and she killed me.
Sex with her and she killed you.
Killed me, yeah, and then I was alive again.
How did you do that? You were supposed to be good.
I know.
I went Jason as well.
I went back and changed it, but
I went back and changed.
She promised me eternal life. She lied. So. Movies. What movies are you looking forward to?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, Predator, but we love Predator, don't we? And the bottom line it's been reshot a few times, hasn't it?
It doesn't look good, man.
And it doesn't look
It looks very, very, very similar to Alien vs Predator 2.
It looked right.
Shit.
Okay, so here we go. Let's break this down. So I was excited about it. Break it down. I was excited about the movie.
Because Shane Black was involved.
And also I'd watched the first trailer and it looked great. And I was watching, not the first trailer. This is what happened. I was watching trailers like, this is good.
You watched the first part of the trailer.
Interview room, Predators.
What did you see?
Blah,
the jungle
blah, blah.
came to life.
Yeah, and all that shit. I thought, this is great. And then it was like, Super Predator. And I was like, oh my fuck. And then this massive 10-foot Predator holding someone up. And I'm like, I'm out.
It is, I know we've said this joke before, but it is very kind of like, we need to make the Predator more scary. Let's make a bigger one.
It's like, Predator's the Predator. Like, and the thing is, there's so many possibilities with the Predator.
But
like,
you look at the original. I know it's hard to do this because we know what, in this day and age we know so much about the Predator and what it is. But when you look at the original movie, like 70% of that movie, the Predator is invisible. It's more about the fear of something in that jungle killing everything, hunting you. You know what I mean? That was what the fear of that movie was you basically, what made that movie amazing was you essentially, I know it was hammed up and cheesy, and you had like Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that.
Brilliant.
But that was the point. It was the butch, badass special forces group, and then all of a sudden they're being killed off one by one, and it was like, shit, man. If these guys can handle this thing.
A massive gun. They had the guns, had everything.
They had everything. Grenade launchers, mini guns. They had Arnold Schwarzenegger, the ultimate weapon. Puns.
Puns. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Exactly. And I mean, it just and then now it's just it's straight away. Like in the trailer, it's showing you the Predator and the Super Predator. I mean, the Super Predator should have just been a surprise in the movie. Why did they feel the need to put it in the trailer?
Genesis, wasn't it? When they made Thingy, you could see that John Connor had been made into a robot.
Oh, God,
you're like, oh God, why bother?
You put it in the trailer now. That's the big reveal. What's the point?
But the thing is with Predator is, I think, like you say, it's the same with Alien. I feel sometimes and with new horror movies, they feel people want to see. People need to see the character. They need to see the gore. But the thing is, it's the suspense and the build up, and then you see it. It's like, oh my lord! Like with the original Terminator, you didn't see him do any of that crazy stuff, cutting his eye out till the middle of the movie. Before, you just seen him looking menacing, walking around naked. He took stabbed with a knife. It bent. You didn't really know what was going on. The big reveal was at the end.
The thing is that I think the problem is it's people think the bigger is better when the reality is less is more. And that's what made horror movies great back in the day. Yeah,
but I thought Shane Black would understand.
Well, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. It might be good when we watch it, but it does look more like
we're doing a good outing for this. We are going to go.
We are actually, yeah.
Shaun.
the three amigos, the three GLG amigos, are going to go and watch this at the cinema. We
Hold
did discuss
hands.
this, and we maybe do a little video about it. Maybe, who knows?
Maybe, yeah, we'll see. But it's I'm apprehensive,
Yeah, me too.
and that's it. That's the thing. But yeah, and
Arnold cameo or we riot.
yeah, that's the thing. And moving on to apprehensive movies is Venom is another one.
Yeah.
and we've touched on it. I'm not going to go a lot more into it.
We've
but
talked about it quite a lot over the last few episodes. We are unsure, but we want it to be good. Tom Hardy's a good actor, and not only is he a good actor, I think he tends to pick tries to be quite clever about the parts he picks. So you like to think that he's been happy with what he's seen in the script, etc. So with a bit of luck, it won't be shit. I'm going to put my money on we're going to get some kind of Spider-Man reference in there, even if it's not a cameo or something. We get do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Some kind of
it's got to be some type of
indication that he is in that universe.
Yeah.
So
but we'll move on because I just
definitely.
It'll be like Stardew Valley all over again.
On that, I haven't got it on the list, but it's just reminded me. Is I am really, really looking forward to that animated Spider-Man movie. That's coming out.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. The animation on it is like, because it's kind of like
I'll
a comic book
go
comes
with
to
you and
life.
watch that, mate. It
It
looks
looks
really
so good, doesn't it? Really good.
Yeah, because it's all this different dimension ones, which it's
Is it called Into the Spider-Verse? Or
yeah,
something
it's
like
the
that?
Spider-Verse. Because if you ever watched the old cartoon,
I remember, yeah.
yeah,
There used to be
where
loads of different ones, didn't there?
Madam Spider, whatever her name
Yeah.
was, she opened up all the parallel universe. We had like Spider-Man who came out and was like,
Yeah.
I'm Spider-Man, and
was
he
like
had
Man
a
Spider
and he had
and
like
stuff.
Man
Yeah.
Spider was Man Spider was another one, but he had a guy who had a metal suit, and he was like,
That's
I
right,
came through
yeah.
and I got loads of money and I'm famous and that, and it was really really good. And I think if they can pull on that, then that'd be brilliant.
That'd be really good. But yeah, it did look fucking
Isn't Nicolas
decent.
Cage doing a voice in that?
Might have been, I don't know.
I think he is. I think he's doing a
Nick
villain.
Cage.
I think he.
I'm a
car.
Hey, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, look at me.
Don't you know I was going to be Superman once, but it didn't work out. I'm Castor Troy. Anyway, so terrible impressions aside.
Yeah.
Uncle Boy Crackers, my boy.
Oh my God.
Nobody knows what that is. It's a
Yeah,
weird advert. That we used to quote it because my wife hated it. So, couple of other movies. There's a few horror movies coming out. I know that Shaun quite likes the. What's the movie called? The series. It's the movie The Nun. But what's it part of the series again?
Yes, Cass.
What's
the nun, isn't it? This
what was
where we
the
need Shaun.
series called again? The something, wasn't it? They did the second one was in London, wasn't it? The first one was based on the Amityville
Conjuring.
House. Conjuring, that's it. Yeah, it's Conjuring. Yeah, you're right. So it's the Conjuring series because Annabelle's part of it, isn't it? And the Nun is the
Annabelle
latest
creation.
one.
Yeah, and it's all tied in.
Yeah, I've seen one of the Annabelle movies and I didn't like it. I haven't seen the second one, which Shaun said was okay. And this is obviously.
I was a bit disappointed with the Annabelle one because it didn't actually do anything.
No,
She
she
just kind of sat there.
So sat there, lazy scares. So yeah, that's coming up. The ones I'm more interested in is I've made no qualms about it. That I think Shaun criticises me for this, but one of my favourite horror movies is the original Halloween. I love the original, and they're doing a new Halloween, but it's kind of ignoring a lot of the sequels. So I'm quite confused about it. She's in it, but obviously in Halloween it turned out that her character Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister.
Dun, dun, dun. Spoiler.
They're cutting that out, so they're ignoring that. So in this is like, I think it's supposed to be either a sequel to the original or the second one, at least. And that was before the reveal. So actually, in this new one, they're not siblings.
Shaun will love it because it's ruining the whole original thing. Just like Last Jedi.
Like the Jedi
You're not
Last.
here to defend yourself, Shaun. Last Jedi was shit. It's on Now TV and I'm not watching it.
I'm in the middle there. I don't hate Last Jedi, but it's certainly not in my top.
Oh, look at Jason trying to get the middle ground.
Yeah, I am the middle ground. I think there was elements of Last Jedi that I did like, but actually I don't. I thought the reaction was over the top. We're not going back into.
Do you know what I liked about it when it finished?
The credits were great because it was normal. Because the credits didn't change. It was the same credits as all Star Wars movies. How we like it.
I like it when I walked out the movie. I could forget that I ever seen that movie ever again.
And also another horror movie that's coming out is I might not pronounce this properly. I know you and Shaun were interested in it. Is it called Suspiria?
Suspiria's. Have
you never heard of it? No. I thought you and Shaun said there was a trailer for it that looked really good.
trying to think, what's the trailer
about? Suspiria. It's got like, I'm sure it's got the girl out of 50 Shades of Grey in it, and she's like in a. It looks like she's doing like ballet or something like that, but it's a weird like horror movie.
I can't remember. Oh, I might have seen it actually on Facebook or something.
Yeah, I'll show you the trailer later, but yeah, it looks very, very interesting. I haven't seen a lot about it other than the trailer, but it looks proper creepy, which is like, I haven't seen a decent horror movie that's creeped the fuck out of me for a while, so it's on my list anyway. So there's that. Apart from that, Wreck-It Ralph 2.
My girlfriend is very interested in this movie because it's got all the Disney princesses in it.
Yeah, my daughter lost her fucking mind when she saw it because she was just like, yeah, I love it. Apart from Princess Leia wasn't there, so that's bullshit.
Yeah. Princess Leia's not a powerful.
Oh, there was Star Wars characters, so she might be in it actually, because there was Star Wars characters in the trailer. I love Wreck-It Ralph. I thought
she should be flying through the air like a stupid idiot.
Like a superhero, yeah. I hope not. I hope not. I really like Wreck-It Ralph, and I think this one looks very good. It's very good at sort of like touching on, it's like being very meta, and I like the fact that it's a video game movie, but it's sort of commentating on like,
well, it goes into like classic games, isn't it? Like Zangief was in the last one, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And this one's touching on like the internet and
Dungeon Master was in it as well, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Dungeon Keeper, whatever his name is. Dungeon Master.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It looks decent. Very good. Obviously voiced by Shaun, why aren't you here? What's his name again? The guy who plays...
Oh, the guy...
Step Brothers,
not
isn't it?
McBride.
Oh, John C. Reilly.
Yes!
Thank you, Sean. He just sent that over. Trabu Sip.
Thanks, Sean.
Riley C. John.
Podcasting.
Riley C. John. And the last one, I'll let you mention it because I'm taking over a little bit.
Oh, he's taking over. I'll just go home.
Well, just for a little bit of history, myself and Gino are massive fans of the Rocky series. We had a great experience. Apart from one of them, which we don't talk about.
That like there's
well, we are because that one doesn't exist. So
okay.
We went to the cinema to watch Rocky Balboa, and that experience was amazing.
We were shouting.
About it before.
Oh, it was great.
It was like everyone was cheering it on, wasn't it? Like it was a real boxing match. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But Creed was good. We went to cinema to watch that as well, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. Yes, we did.
Ate wine gums together. Touched hands.
Yes.
We went for the same green wine gum.
Yeah, we went for the same bootlace and met in the middle like Lady and the Tramp. Obviously, I'm a lady. So.
Oh, what a night!
It looks good. Night. I'm hoping it continues. Dolph Lundgren is. I'm not sure if I don't think he's going to fight in it, but his son looks pretty hench.
He does, but I've got to say, I mean, obviously,
I would like some shoving between Rocky and that.
I'll give it a chance, but I do think that's incredibly lazy writing. To have, because obviously we've got Creed's son, and it's like, oh, let's put Ivan Drago's son in there. It just sounds too.
What they should have done, because going with the trend, they should have made Avon have a daughter. And then he had
I was going to say that.
Daughter.
Well, I was going to say,
and it would have been like $1 Million Baby. just falls down.
Well, I thought more they could have done the old Romeo and Juliet thing, where it's
when they fall in love.
Yeah, you can't be together because he killed your dad and all this.
No, he's in love with the Predator, isn't he? That woman in it. What's her name?
He's in love with a Predator.
Yeah, it's the only one with dreads. I call him Predator. She had dreads, didn't she?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. That's the Tessa Thompson. She's in everything, isn't it? It was Tessa Thompson, wasn't it?
I don't know.
She's the girl. She played Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, I like her.
She's in everything at the moment.
She's British, isn't she?
I don't know. I lose track. Some of them, their accents are so good.
But I know. What was the one I watched the other day? That
so I want to hear Millie Bobby Brown or whatever her name is, the one who played Eleven in
Oh yeah,
Stranger Things. Like she's British, isn't she? And it always sounds weird when she talks because I'm used to her not talking at all. That's not your normal accent.
The one I see who's been in everything is Lenny Kravitz's daughter. She's in those stuff.
She was in that Big Little Lies, which was
I love that. It's been commissioned for a new series.
Yeah, which is weird because it kind of ended well, didn't it?
Well, no, not really, because they killed the dude. Well, spoilers, but
that is literally the end of the. No, actually, that's the start of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know what happens, don't you? But anyway, I think they've got to see if they can keep it secret. I suppose.
Excrement.
I like excrement.
There we go. Right, well that's the rest of 2018. We're so glad if you've managed to stick with us. We said at the start before we came on air that we were going to go short, and we've gone long once again because
go hard or go home, boys.
At least we can officially say that Sean, you're off the hook. It's me and Gino that are doing all the fucking talking. We won't shut the fuck up. So
you need to come here and help us.
Yeah, you need to wind us down a bit because we talk too long. But
just to let you all know before we go that if we do if we do the vlogs again, they will be a lot shorter.
They will.
We'll try and keep them to an hour.
Well, the podcast will essentially be split up into a series of vlogs, which, if you listen to us as a podcast, will still be one continuous episode. But if you watch us on YouTube, it will be split up into like 3 vlogs at hopefully about sort of 15-20 minutes each, which will ultimately make the podcast a bit shorter anyway. So we'll see how we go. We're still learning, and we like to talk. And to be fair, we haven't seen each other for a little while, so that's why we've.
I'm still waiting for an avatar.
Verbal diarrhea.
I'm still waiting for an avatar.
Yeah, I need to commission
a little
bit of a.
Problem is, it looking nearly exactly the same as yours because you've got.
I did have a go at it, but to be fair, we've got a little bit of a plug for friends of ours. Well, friends of mine. I don't even know if you know them, but a couple of twins called the Bailey brothers. They are very good artists, and I bumped into them a few times in the supermarket, and they've said, "Look, if you want anything done, get it done." And they're really good artists, so they can actually draw us up some.
I want to be extra
avatar, maybe.
with,
so.
You know.
Well, that'd be true to life, won't it, Gino?
Yeah,
so.
thanks. So we'll put a face to the name, hopefully, in the next couple of months. But we're going to be more regular. So yeah, we'll be signing off. We're going
to try and release episodes every fortnight. It's not always going to happen because at the end of the day, this isn't our day job. We've got other commitments, but we will try and be more regular. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I hope you enjoy this rendition of Astro Farm, the theme tune. Astro Farm.
Shaun said it got good reviews.
When you're cruising through the cosmos, you won't believe your eyes. There's always something new to see. When you're gliding through the galaxy, there's always a surprise. So why don't you fly with me? Astro Farm, it's a very special place. Astro Farm, can't you see we're living on an asteroid in outer space?